everybody. Here we are another day.
Are you sure we're on?
And we're grateful. We are grateful to be here tonight. Hey, we got a couple housekeeping things first. And I think this is really funny. You know, we were talking about love last week, and one of my friends said, well, you didn't finish talking about the scripture of love. And so we're going to take care of that right now. But what I want to say about that is when we were talking about that, you know, things have changed, and you're not awake. If you haven't noticed that things have changed, I don't know what to tell you, but it's time to be on fire. It's time to be bold, and it's time to love. We got to love. So anyways, I'm going to read from 1 Corinthians, and I'm going to read 4 and a little bit of 8, but this is what love is. And think about this. I mean, we read this, we hear it. Do you do this? Do we do it? Mm-hmm. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. So jealousy's out. Love does not parade itself. This is such a self-centered world. You know, we all, nobody needs to be proud of us because we are so proud of ourselves. It's disgusting. But anyways, it is not puffed up. Does not behave rudely. That's an easy one. Does not seek its own. Is not provoked and thinks no evil. I think for sure all of us could improve in that area. Does not rejoice in inequity, but rejoices in the truth. And that's one of the things I was talking about. It's time. It's time to stand up, tell the truth, tell it with love, but be bold. Be bold. Bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures in all things. And the bears all things is bearing the burdens of our brothers and sisters. You know, if we share them and help them carry them, they're not that heavy. And then, you know, over in verse 13, it says, of course, faith, hope, and love are the 3 important things, but the greatest of these is love. So that's the wrap up on love for the moment. And then, this. Okay, we're not advertising stuff, but, okay, see all this hair? Yes, right, there's a lot of it. And this is the craziest brush. This thing was $2.54, okay, at Aldi's, okay, and I'm going to tell you, it's called Visage, V-I-S-A-G-E. This does not, and it doesn't weigh nothing, but it moves, okay, so when you're dragging it through your hair, so look at that. It is the most wonderful brush. Now, I'm old. I've tried lots of brushes. Mostly I've had long hair. So this thing, $2.50, buy 12 of them. All right, you're on, Heather.
Okay, well, hey, welcome back. Look, you talked about wrapping. First of all, I haven't tried the brush, but you know, like as ladies, when you find things that work for you, you need to share that with your sisters because we are all going through the same things, dealing with the same things. And speaking of, let me tell you, I found a fabulous bra. Went shopping the other night for my daughter's homecoming dress, and we were up at the Kenwood Mall in Cincinnati, and someone had told me to go to Torrid. And the reason, like, I'm in a wedding next weekend, and I'm wearing this dress, and it's like this one-shoulder deal, so I have to wear a one-shoulder bra. Right. And I'm going to be real honest with you. These girls require 2 straps, not 1. Okay? So I needed something that's like, it's going to carry the load. It's got to do the job. So I go to Torrid, and I found out real quick that was not the store for me. There was not, they didn't have what I needed. So my daughter's sister is like, hey, you know, they were moving on to a different dress store. And she said, why don't you try over there at Soma? They've probably got what you need, or at least that kind of stuff. So I said, okay, I'm going to go check. And I went in, and this beautiful young lady named Ebony took such great care of me. She was so sweet and so professional, and she just was on top of her job. Customer service is a lost art
It sure
these
is.
days.
I
And for
agree.
her to just be right there and be on top of it and go above and beyond. And I wasn't for sure what I needed. I wasn't for sure what to ask for. And she just like swooped in, took control of the situation, and she got my girls covered, like literally. And I walked out very happy with what I got. And you girls know how it is to
Right.
keep the ladies in place, and like that's a job.
Oh, she doesn't
So-
even know yet. All right. The job gets much harder, okay?
The fun things we have to look forward to as we're
Yeah,
aging.
she
But
don't
anyway,
know yet.
Ebony took great care of me, and I definitely highly recommend if you're looking for something that's like really secure and comfortable, to try Soma at the Kenwood Mall in Cincinnati. But I'm moving on from that. You were talking about wrapping up on love, and it's interesting that you shared the love chapter, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, because, and I know you saw it, I just posted this thing on Facebook a couple days ago. I made this very cute little logo, and it says the love revolution. And like actually in the word revolution, it spells love backwards.
Upside down backwards.
Well, it wasn't upside down, but it was backwards because it's REVOL. So it's the EVOL, which is love backwards. So I flipped it. So you see that it's backwards, and then I put it on top in a different color frontwards, so you would connect, because a couple people actually read over it the first time just by itself and missed the fact that the word love is in revolution. And I think that that's what we need right now, is a love revolution. And I shared the very pretty logo that I made, and I posted it along with the love chapter, 1 Corinthians 13, because our ability to love others right now is really pretty broken. And I think, one, people are afraid to say things to people because they don't want to offend or hurt their feelings, and I get that. But if someone that is close to you that you love, or someone who is voluntarily bringing their situation to you and asking for your advice or whatever, if you can clearly see that they are stuck in their sin, it is your responsibility to gently restore you. Those of you who are godly, you do have this responsibility. Right. And you have to say when you see that things are out of order and need to be restored. And then on the other side of the coin, what was on the other side? There was something on the other side of the coin. Let me think
Lincoln.
about that.
President Lincoln.
Dang, cheap little coin. They're going to stop using those. They're going to take them out of circulation. Yeah. And then y'all can say bye to Lincoln.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know, but like we need to be able to love. Oh, and the other thing, I know what the other side of the coin was that we do see people who are in sin, but instead of trying to love on them and bond and build a relationship with them, we go right into automatically, let me just start correcting you. And I feel like this is a huge problem. Do people need to be corrected? Yes. Now let me explain a little something to you guys. I do equine assisted learning. I partner people with horses. They do mostly ground-based activities that build life skills. Okay, and because my horses work with new people all the time, I tell people when you come in, you don't just come in and start rubbing my horse's face. I want you to bond with them and build a relationship and earn the right to move past these boundaries. You don't automatically get the right to just come in and start touching my horse and his identity. A face is a personal, I don't like people touching my face. It's weird. And I touched, you can touch my face. I touched my mic. I hope I didn't mess up the audio. I still have issues. Like sometimes I'm a hugger, but sometimes I'm not. Because of the stuff that I came out of, I'm kind of iffy about touch. I have my feelings. So I set boundaries, and I'm good with boundaries. Not everybody is. probably could still use some more work in that area. But honestly, I love boundaries, and I have no problem setting them when I need to. But the point that I'm trying to make is that just like with the horses, when you come in, you have to bond and build a relationship with the horse before you start touching their face, or before I ever let a client ride a horse. Right. I want you to build trust. I want this horse to know you and to be comfortable with you. I want you to know my horse and be comfortable with my horse. And then once you've experienced all that, then we can move on. And I think that it needs to be that way when we are trying to reach people who are lost. You can't just jump right in their face and say, you're wrong. You're going to hell. I mean, or whatever it is that you're saying, you need to love them.
Your best thing is your example. That's the best thing. How you treat people, that's your best thing.
Yeah.
We are responsible, though. We are responsible to correct the wrongs. We're responsible. Some people won't even ever see a Bible. You're it.
Yeah.
We're it.
Yeah.
And I feel kind of bad for them for that, if I'm it. But, that's the truth. And so the way you behave and the way you act, and you have to think about, I didn't want to listen to anybody. I don't know about you, but, if somebody would have befriended me first, probably would have been the way to go. But
yeah, just
that's
invest.
Not what happened.
Act interested.
Right.
If you don't care about what I'm going through, because nobody just wakes up, I want to do these evil things. That's never how it works.
Right.
People go through things.
Right.
People have past trauma. People have been offended or, just hurt in some way or whatever, and that leads to the behavior that they are in.
We don't talk anymore.
No.
That's the thing. We cannot disagree about something and have an adult discussion and still love each other. Now, no, we can.
Yeah.
We got people in our lives that we can, but we've lost that ability. I'm right. That's it. That's what we got. I deserve it. It's my truth, and that's how that is. And like it or don't, That's a crazy thing because we are talkers. We're supposed to talk. We're supposed to relate. We're supposed to be in relationship, And we can't even do that with each other. And then we wonder why we're lost in God. We just don't even know who He is, know. And I am going to say this real quick, too, before I forget. If you have not tried Jesus, and look at your life, just try it this way. Okay, go ahead. Here, get your book.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to get off of advertising right now. This is the last advertising.
Okay, hopefully I'm holding this up. Listen, Stacey Eldridge, if you're out there and you're listening, if you ever happen to hear this podcast, I need to talk to you, Stacey. In fact, I'm about to make a Facebook reel and ask people to share it and share it and share it until it finally reaches her. Okay, let me tell you about this book. It's called Captivating by John and Stacey Eldridge. I happened to come across it. Well, actually, it wasn't even this one. There is a companion book that goes with it. This is written by a husband and wife, 2 men and women. And the men's book is called Wild at Heart. I came across that at Ollie's a few years ago, like $4.99. And you know how sometimes stuff just hits you and you're like, I'm supposed to pick that up. Well, yes. Well, I bought just the one. I bought the one, and then I go home and devoured it. It was so good. Now, for those of you who know me, and I think we talked about this in a previous podcast, I have talked about, I keep hitting my mic, how I have struggled with identity as a woman in Christ. I didn't know what being a woman was supposed to be like. So that's been my prayer for my walk. Lord, please show me. And He's just dropped things in my path. And this was one of those things. So I devour the book, Wild at Heart. I get to the end. I find out that there is the companion book that's for the women. And it's actually called, this one is called Captivating, Unveiling the Mystery of a Woman's Soul. Woo. And the other one is Unveiling the Mystery of a Man's Soul. And it's not just man and woman, it's masculinity and femininity, which is just so good. So anyway, I order this book. The book comes, I devour it. And then the next time I go to Ollie's, I find like 10 more. So that's when I started buying them all. Now, I don't know.
We all got one.
I never told anybody. I think a couple people I told, but I was just going up to people's purses. No, I was sliding books in purses while people like would leave their purse in their seat and walk away. I didn't want anybody to know. So I would drop it in and then I'd go. And I'd go back to Ollie's. I'd find 10 more. I'd buy them all. I'm giving them to everybody. And so I give one to my little sister. That's a very important part of my story. She gets one. But they're all over the place. And I love them. And then I find out that there is a Bible study that goes along with it, like a journaling thing. There's DVD with women's testimonies. Like it's like Stacey Eldridge's friends, her friend group. So I buy that. And then our Friday lunch group, we have lunch with these ladies from church every Friday afternoon. So this group got together and did the study. We watched the videos, did all the journal prompts and stuff. And then, so here, last year, God laid it on my heart to take the word of this book and to turn it into a 3-session class for teen girls with the horses. And we did it. I called it Journey into Your Feminine Heart. And it was based off the main points of this book. And I ended up, we did the class one time for a group of girls. It was amazing. And then someone had seen that we did the class. So they reached out to the community Christian school here in Connorsville, and they donated the money for them to send all their teenage girls out. So they actually made us a part of their curriculum, and the River Ride Mini Ranch. They sent the girls from community Christian out to our ranch 3 weeks in a row to take this class, and it was amazing. So as I'm in this class, one of the days, they send a teacher who's part of another thing, but she shows up and teaches sometimes. And then she and I meet, and I love her and she loves me because, we love women. And when you find one that's oh, God put that woman on your path and you're supposed to go to war together and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And so I meet her and we're collaborating on some things now. Well, anyway, she's a part of this other nonprofit that's out of Texas. And she is teaching, there's a lot. So she takes this class into churches and schools and teaches these classes. And I'm probably leaving out some details, but you're going to get the gist. So anyway, they now are taking the class. This is groundbreaking is what I'm trying to say, situation. My sister and I are actually getting to take these classes into the jail and the recovery home. At first it was just church and school. Now my sister, she worked at the jail for a long time. She's not there anymore. But she gets to go back into the jail and do this class in the jail. I work with the ladies from the House of Ruth already, so
Amen.
I'm doing this class with the house. Well, anyway, we were able to add something that we wanted to add into the class. And my sister, who was also extremely touched by the word that God gave John and Stacey Eldridge, and in this book, Captivating, she asked Sheila if she could take the Captivating books into the jail. And Sheila was like, yeah, absolutely. I love it. And I said, well, if she's taking them to the jail, then I'm taking them to the House of Ruth.
Right.
So now that's what I'm doing. She is actually teaching this book to women they're in jail, most of which, women who are going into recovery, coming out of drug addiction, whatever. And what's really cool.
It's great timing.
My sister gets them while they're in jail, and then a lot of them get out of jail, and they go to the House of Ruth, so then they get me. So boom, boom, we got you.
Right.
For the Lord. I love it.
Right.
So anyway, the book is amazing, and the main point in this book is that guard your heart above all else, because out of it comes forth the issues of life. That's Proverbs 4:12 or 13. And it talks about the desires of a woman's heart. And why is that important? Because men and women are both made in the image of God. Well, if you look at my body and you look at my husband's body, they're a little bit different, right? So obviously the fact that we're made in God's image isn't just the physical, how I keep hitting the mic. how do I, as a woman, reflect the image of God? How do I glorify him and his character? You know, how do I represent him on this earth?
The feminine aspect.
The feminine, yes, absolutely.
Right.
Okay, so they have worked with, I forget, probably thousands of women over the years in the counseling setting, and have done a lot of research to get the information, and then also obviously like what God has shown them and led them into. And here's the thing, the men, they want 3 things deep down. The women, we all want these same 3 things deep down, and the 3 just happen to connect, okay? So for a woman, let me tell you, the number 1 desire of a woman's heart is to be romanced. And don't tell me I'm lying. You know it's the truth. We want to be romanced. And not like just romance, but like the core of that desire is that we want to be sought after. We want someone to pursue us, and we want to be fully seen and fully known and loved and accepted in that. The second desire is that we want to play an irreplaceable role in a great adventure, okay? And number 3 is that we want to unveil a beauty that's all our own, okay? Now, that is true in our lives as women. We want those things from our men, but we also, like, we really, truly do want that from the Lord. And the thing is, it shows us that that's what God wants. You know, the fact that God wants to be romanced like we do means that he wants us to pursue after him. He wants us to fully see him and to fully know him and to want him, love him, accept him.
And if you don't know the Lord, all of this sounds weird, like just the pursuing of God. But once God's got you, he draws and draws. Pursuing is actually pretty easy because
I always say God
wooed
me. He wooed me.
And he still does. He still does. Go ahead, sweetie.
Yeah, okay. So the second thing was that we want to play an irreplaceable role in a great adventure. Definitely, like the Bible itself is the greatest love story ever, and you think it's not adventurous that the king of all the earth would give up his throne and come to this earth and die to save his bride? Hello, and to unveil a beauty all our own. Have you seen a sunrise? Have you seen a sunset? How about the sun dancing across the top of a large body of water? Have you seen big mountains? I mean, God's creation is beautiful. And so that God wants to unveil a beauty. He loves beauty. He's the original creator of all things beautiful.
Plus our own personal. That's where your own person, what makes us different is my beauty is not hers and hers is not mine. But all together, it is the vision and the beauty of God.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's why it takes all of us. That's why can we not talk about our differences and love them? That's the craziest thing to me.
Yeah.
Because they are so beautiful. She does all of this Facebook picture making stuff, you know, and I can't do it, and I don't want to do it. It's like not what I do, you know, and I don't want to do it, you know. And thank God that she does it, you know. And I don't really know what my part in all this thing is, though, but thank God that she does that, and she likes to do that, you know. And then I have some other stuff like advertising hairbrushes, so. You know, we win-win.
That's important. You do not want to walk around looking nappy.
But we do. We want to celebrate. Thank God we're not all the same. How awful would that be? Because even for like the mean people, everybody'd be mean, and we got enough of that. And then you don't, you know, I mean, there would be no challenge. There would not be any mixing up. I mean, I do what I do for a living. I don't do what she does. We need what she does. We need what I do.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, and that's how it all works. We don't have to agree. Can we not appreciate the differences? How can you kill someone because they don't agree with you? That is. Go ahead. I'm done.
Okay, where do we even go? Okay, back to the book. Okay,
we
yeah,
got
I
the
don't know.
Proverbs
The
open.
book is just it's so good. You learn so much about your own, your own identity, your feminine identity. It teaches you about the male, and this is how they fit together, okay? The 3 desires of a man's heart are to fight a battle, to have a huge adventure, and to love and or rescue a beauty. I mean, and doesn't that tell you God's character? He's fighting a battle and rescuing his bride. I mean, that's,
Which is us,
and the
for
whole,
those of you who don't know God.
Yes.
We are the bride.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we are the
I didn't
bride
know
of
what
Christ.
that meant. I didn't know for the longest time. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with being a girl. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with being a man. There's nothing wrong with your husband taking care of you. And there's nothing wrong with being submissive. We'll have a conversation about winning through the back door, girls. Oh, I got that down.
Just know, picking your spouse is very important.
It is.
If you have an issue
so
with the
much.
word submissive,
Yeah.
maybe it's because you didn't let God pick your spouse for you.
Right.
Okay, there was a time where I rebelled against that word. But now, yeah, absolutely. I will submit. I trust my husband's leading. I mean, he obviously makes good enough decisions because he married me. So I trust.
That's true.
I trust his decision-making process. He chose
I feel
to
sorry
follow
for
the
my
Lord.
husband.
No,
So we'll just put
no.
that
Can
out
you
there.
imagine being married to Ken?
Oh my gosh,
Steve
my poor
is never
husband.
bored. I guarantee it.
Oh my gosh, my poor husband.
Their house, I bet, is just a ball all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
No, but we have roles to play. We really do.
Life's easier if they're taking care of you. Seriously, I had to learn. Oh my gosh. So I've been married 1,000 times. So we'll just put that on the table, okay? For a multitude of reasons. You know, it doesn't matter. It was all dumb. And none of them was evenly yoked, okay? But anyway, so I get married to Steve, right? And I got this, now we dated like for 5 years. He'd drive here every weekend from Kentucky. But like he wanted to cut my grass and stuff. Well, I got a house. I got the lawnmower. I ride the lawnmower. I know how to cut the grass. I know how to do all of that because I was a single woman doing my own thing, you know. And there was a span there. I was single for a long time, you know. So I did like these marriages, these 3 marriages, and then I give up on that. But anyways, so I didn't know how to be loved. And I have to tell you the truth, I didn't know how to love. And I was all clean and sober then, okay, and had some semblance of a relationship with God. Nothing like now, but I did have something going on. But the first 2 years that we were, oh God, this is so awful. But you know why I'm telling you this? Because this is real, okay? And for any of you who are doing this or might have done it, God still loves you, and I don't, you know, he really loves us, you know. Steve wouldn't fight,
God.
Okay? He's fixing my dinner every night, which he still does. I'm retired, okay? He still fixes my dinner, takes care of my car. He runs the sweeper, on and on and on. He cuts the grass. I ain't allowed to cut the grass, blah, 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 blah. The first 2 years, I was kind of like, hey, if you don't like it, walk on down the road, dude. Okay, well, I'm not leaving, Kimberly, okay? I don't have the problem. I love you. You know, you're the one with the problem. And I would have to say, very seriously, I called him every name in the book. And so aggravating to have somebody sit there like this. It's okay. Do what you got to do. Oh, God, I wanted to crack him more. But anyways, 2 years of that, my best buddy put up with that and kept saying, you know, I'm not going anywhere. So I left one day. I left my house. He sold his farm and moved into my house up here, okay? And I got mad and I put all my stuff in my Jeep and I left. And I went to my pastor. My pastor says, isn't that your house? And I'm like, yes. And he's like, well, you've got to go back home. I said, oh no, I can't go back home. He's there. I just moved all my stuff in my Jeep. He says, well, maybe next time before you move, you'll call me. So I've been through a lot of humiliating things, okay, to learn how easy, once you learn, it's okay for them. We're not the same, ladies, okay? I do some things very well, and I got a great mind, okay? But I can't lift what he can lift. I don't think the way that he thinks, and sometimes he thinks better than me. That's just the bottom line. We're not the same, okay? I don't even pretend to be this. I am a chick. End of it. My brain has 1 million components. You know what Steve always says? Feed me, have sex with me, and you can kick me to the curb. That's all I require. Feed me, love me, have sex with me. That's how easy it is. Me? No. This is full of stuff. But be a girl, be a dude. It's all okay.
The one that you were born as, the one that God assigned to you, be that one. Don't just be any. You can't just pick.
Oh, well, no, you can. You can put a dress on.
Stop
and,
it.
no, no. This is how simple we are, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I
Let's
really
hear
don't
it.
want to go here, but we're going to real quick. Put a dress on,
Uh-huh.
and you're a girl. So,
Donkey stuff.
so our timer went off.
It did
Our
go off.
timer
Hey,
went
listen.
off.
Next week, we are going to be at the House of Ruth fundraiser dinner on Thursday evening, so we will not be able to go live on Thursday. Maybe
I hope you miss us for a week.
Maybe we'll have something pop up on another night, but it's looking like I don't think that we're going to be able to make that happen because we have other commitments going on throughout the rest of the week. But I will post things on Facebook
She
and
will.
Instagram.
I don't, but she will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that. So be watching.
Oh, look, 2 people left. There was 5 watching. I love this. It doesn't mean anything to me, really, but there was 5 watching, and now there's only 3. We lost 2. Oh, golly. All right, it's a wrap.
Cut the cameras.
Cut 'em.